And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Lipscomb Academy here in Nashville, Tennessee, for tonight's broadcast of the homestanding Lipscomb Mustangs taking on your CPA Lions, visiting team. Tonight wearing purple. Right now they have the gray warm-up shirts and their purple game shorts on. Lions coached by Drew Maddox come into this game at 24-2 on the season. Undefeated, unblemished record in District 10 AA. Lipscomb comes in not quite as sterling. They're having a bit of a tough year for them at 5-16 overall, 4-11 in the district. Lipscomb Mustangs colors also purple and gold. They'll be wearing the home whites with gold numerals trimmed in purple, white shorts trimmed in purple. This is Phil Newman, your Director of Communications, bringing you tonight's broadcast live and on demand if you're watching this game later. About 4.5 minutes or so until the scheduled start time. We're actually running a little bit late. The girls' game was on time, but they had a ceremony between games to honor some seniors. Senior night here at Lipscomb. They honored outstanding athletes here at the at Lipscomb Academy, including a fantastic cross-country runner, girl, who's won a ton of awards. And also senior, I think it was Lauren Cagle. It was Cagle. Cagle was honored at the girls' team. Nice to see the Lions warming up. They are the defending AA state champions in boys basketball here in Tennessee. At one point this season ranked nationally, top 20 in the nation, before the tournament down in Myrtle Beach. That was a couple tough games there. I think Coach Maddox said he thought maybe the guys were a little bit tired after a really courageous effort. There is a reverse dunk by Lindsay, Jalen Lindsay. Lions come in led by a bunch of juniors, and there's one of them, Osmiller, with the layup just now. Jalen Lindsay is a junior. Jake Osmiller is a junior. Braxton Bonds, a junior. And then they also have Thomas Richard, a junior. Then there's a freshman, Braxton Blackwell. CPA fans know Braxton quite well. The two Braxtons, Bonds, a junior, Blackwell, a freshman. They will be the starting five, the ones I mentioned, the four juniors and the one freshman. And then a good cast of players who will come off the bench and contribute as well. Lipscomb, on the other hand, they are led by Reed Beck, number 4, the point guard. He's a 5'10 junior, left-hander. Beck will run the floor for Lipscomb. Lions defeated Lipscomb, by the way, fairly easily in the first game at CPA. This is the rematch in district play. And, of course, these schools know each other very well over the years. They're rivals, and they have squared off on a number of different playing surfaces. Football has been a big rivalry over the years. It's basketball now. This is the last time they'll play in district action for the foreseeable future, as the Lions will move to 12 AA next year and play a lot of the southern teams like Page and Spring Hill and Cascade and Pulaski and Giles County out of Pulaski and I think Marshall County. So a little bit different era beginning after this season for CPA athletics in general. Lions, of course, I mentioned Drew Maddox. It is his 7th season at the helm. He's assisted by Brian Alsmiller along with Michael Cooey. Going with the dark suits tonight are the guys. And we'll see them down there. It's all right. There's Coach Maddox down there. You can see him in the suit. Head coach Drew Maddox, Vanderbilt. Outstanding basketball player in his own right. All-state legend of the game for Vanderbilt, and rock solid record here at the academy as well on the basketball floor. And of course he also serves as director of enrollment at the academy. I said Michael Cooey. Stephen Owens, I should mention him, also an assistant coach for CPA. On the other side of the floor we'll have Coach Ricky Pickens. Coach Pickens leading the helm. He's got his players down there right now, actually. Coach Pickens does in the huddle. Lions are done warming up. Student sections are vigorous by both teams tonight. Right down here in front of us. By the way, if you aren't familiar with this gym, we are in a corner. We've been put in the corner tonight with our dunce caps on. And so the angle of this, the Jim makes it tough to film. There'll be action right down below us and to our left, and there'll be action at the far end of the court. So we'll have to kind of zoom down there and then zoom out down here. The Lipscomb students are sitting to the left of the camera, our left, and we'll show them momentarily here. You can see Lipscomb, they'll be loud. You'll hear them during the game. They have the end zone, if you will, kind of the south stands, if you will, on old football fans that have like the end zones. They will turn around now while CPA is introduced as sort of a show of support for their team. Been a tough season for Lipscomb, and it will be a tough game on paper at least. CPA will be introduced first. I mentioned the 5 starters earlier. Braxton Bonds, there was a run-in last year out here with some of the fans that said some things to Braxton that were not exactly invitations for tea, put it that way. So there was a lot of heat in the gym last year. If you remember that game, it was one where CPA was up, I think it was 10-8 or 12-10, and they went on a 40-point or 37-point run, and Lipscomb didn't score. Lindsay introduced, and now Allsmiller and Richard. There we go. And Blackwell. Well, I told Blackwell maybe not starting. I apologize to Coleman Spann. I think Coleman Spann is actually starting, not Blackwell. So Coleman Spann is a junior as well. So if my eyes are correct, it's going to be 5. Well, maybe it is Braxton. Okay, it is Braxton. All right, my bad. Braxton had his warm-up shirt on for a long time. I thought he wasn't starting, but he is. So it's a freshman and the 4 juniors. And now Lipscomb being introduced. There's 33, Blake Kendrick, shaking hands with Coach Allsmiller. Kendrick will play center. He goes 6'6", the junior. There's 21, Gabe Glimpse will play guard. Luke Simpson, 22, will play guard. And it looks like there's Rebeck, number 4, and then Dowling Armstrong, 44, at 6'2", a senior. So 2 seniors and 3 juniors starting for Lipscomb. Coach Pickens right down there. I see him trying to get his bench fired up. Coach Ritchie down there in the purple shirt with the black pants, right below in the bottom of our camera. Okay, there you go. The team's now shaking hands at half court to begin the game. Lions come in 24-2. Perfect record in district play. The 2 losses came at the Beach Ball Classic in Myrtle Beach. Tip-off is won pretty easily by Lindsay, the 6'7" or so. Inside-out 2-3 player. Here's a 3 on the way, no good. Rebound by almost Blackwell, but it's taken away instead by Kendrick. Rebeck has it back, double-teamed in backcourt. Gets it across to Glimpse. Glimpse will look for help. Kendrick has it inside looking for Armstrong. Armstrong guarded by a couple of Lions. There's a steal by Richard. Thomas, will he dunk it? Yes! Thomas Richard almost hangs on the rim, but the junior slams it home. 2-0 Lions. 7:25 to go here in the first quarter. There's almost a travel, but a steal instead by Allsmiller. Jake will bring it across. Will he shoot for 3? He'll look for Lindsay. Will make a move. Down the lane, he's fouled before, though. Lindsay looks like he wants to have a monster game. Just looking at his demeanor right now. What's it called, traveling? Thank you, Derek. I thought he was fouled. Wasn't called, if he was. Okay, 2-0 Lions, 7:15 to go. Pressured here, Glimpse is caught in the corner. Gets all the way across to Beck. Beck down to Kendrick for 2, no good. Rebound to Blackwell, the freshman. Blackwell will run it. Blackwell down the lane, he'll make a move. He may travel, they're gonna call a block. And the basket goes. So they're gonna call that as good. I thought maybe Braxton might get called for a travel right there, but he didn't. Foul was committed by Kendrick. No, actually, take it back. It was Simpson gets the foul. So foul on Simpson, his first, and the team's first. Blackwell swish. Lions look just at my vantage point, focused and ready to go. Down the lane goes Armstrong. Shot no good. Rebound Blackwell. In the game early is Parker Howell. Now here's Osmond for three. No good. He goes. Rebound though to Bonds. I heard something go crashing in the floor below us. It must have been somebody else. I thought maybe Osmond was down, but he wasn't. So anyway, it's 5-0 CPA now. Double team. Glimpse has it at the free throw line. Looks down to Kendrick. Nice move. A foul's called on Howell. Parker thought he got all ball that time, but it was called a foul. Is it on Howell? Yes, it is. First one on Howell, first one on CPA as well. 2 shots coming up here for Kendrick. First one's a swish. (5-1). Clock at 6:21. First quarter. Second one no good. Rebound comes out to Jalen. So it's Lindsey now, Howell, Bonds, Blackwell, and Osmo. So Richard went out after the dunk. Blackwell has it now. They'll work it around. It's a man-to-man being played by Lipscomb. Howell, way up high. Blackwell, Lindsey thinks about a three. Inside to Howell. What a pass, what a shot, what a roll. Pick and roll. Howell rolls off it, off the screen he's set. Lindsey finds him for 2. Lindsey, outstanding play right there. Here's Kendrick for 2. Shot, short, rebound to Bonds. He'll run. It's 1-on-2 though right now. Gives it off, nope, keeps it. Tries to shoot, blocked by either Beck, who has the ball right now. Nice pass to Glimpse. Disrupted though. Oh, what a block, but it's a foul going to be called on Bonds. The first shot was disrupted by Jake Alsmiller. The second one was blocked by Braxton Bonds, but he was called for the foul. Second team foul, first personal on B. Bonds. 5:28 remaining. There's right below us, you can't see him, but is Alsmiller way down on this side waiting for an outlet. Now you may see, but you won't see Reed Beck come down to kind of get near Alsmiller at least. Second shot is good. 7-2. Both points are scored so far, I think, by Luke Simpson. It's Kendrick, 33. Kendrick is 33. Simpson is 22. I'll get it straight eventually. It's too many double numbers. Got Nathan Olmstead on camera, Derek Penico on production. He may chime in as well here and there. Here's Howell posting up. 3 for Lindsey. No good. Tip by Howell, no good. Braxton rebounds it. Puts it up, no good. Bonds, or rather Braxton Blackwell couldn't quite get the third rebound. And it's a run out by Lipscomb. Blocked by Lindsey. Rejection city right there. Howell. Contest the shot, but it's good by Luke Simpson. 7-4 now. Alsmiller to Howell. Alsmiller back to Bonds. 4:47. Crowd chanting defense. You may be able to hear them. B. Bonds. By the way, if you're out there, you know my number. Text me if you can see us and hear us, and let us know how it's coming in, the broadcast. 4:30. Lindsey thinks about it, takes it now, nails it. Jalen Lindsey with the three-pointer. Here's Beck all the way across. Armstrong for a long 2. No good. Rebound. Lindsey snatches it down with authority. Here comes Blackwell on the run out. Bonds. Alsmiller for 3. Good ball movement. Nails it. This is it. This is the CPA we're used to seeing. When they get in the flow, it's trouble for any opponent. Here's Armstrong down. Knocked away. Ball on the floor. Picked up by Simpson to Armstrong. Good. Nice play right there. Good pass by Simpson and a good finish by Armstrong. 13-6. 3:45 to go. Alsmiller back to Bonds. They're going to set up a play here. Lions lead by 7 points. Bonds will drive. Kick it out. Knocked out of bounds by Lipscomb's Jake Stevens in the game, 24. Stevens is in. And who went out? I didn't see. Stevens is in. Beck is in. Simpson, Glimpse, and Armstrong. It was Kendrick who went out for a break, 33. Okay. Just now. All right. Blackwell's going to try to inbound right. You can't even barely see him right below us. 5-second called. I apologize, we just can't get that shot of straight down. We're trying, but we're doing our best, but it's okay. Our camera doesn't quite go straight down here, unfortunately. It's on a tripod. Here's Reed Beck. Down to Stevens. Stevens goes up. Blocked by Lindsay. Saved in almost by Blackwell, but I guess they called his foot on the ground before he saved it back in. Back in comes Kendrick now for Lipscomb. CPA has Spann in the game. Coleman Spann, number 2, is in, along with Andrew Manuel. Spelling, I didn't see who else came out, but it's Lindsay, Blackwell, Allsmiller, and then Spann and Andrew Manuel. Here's Lindsay, 2-on-1 to Manuel. Goes up. I think he might have slipped. I think Andrew might have lost his footing right there, and their crowd lets him have it. Looked like maybe he just kind of didn't get the jump off the ground like he wanted to. Happens, and the fans are letting them hear it. They've got to try to get their team inspired. I've got to give him credit for that. Manuel out of Blackwell. 3:05 to go. Blackwell drives. Spann for 3. He can make that. Not that time. It's over the top of the backboard, but it's close. Spann came in against Ensworth and drained one from the corner. A big shot for Coleman Spann in that game. So that one I thought was going to go down. It was close, but not quite. 2:58. That 7-point lead. We're stuck on 13-6. Spann with a steal. Coleman will drive in. He'll go up. He'll lay it in. And Spann drains it on a beautiful. He disrupted the pass right past half court. And then when the pass was errant, he picked it up and drove in for the layup. Nice play by the junior Spann. Here's a full court press by the Lions. Broken to Glimpse. Glimpse will drive in there. Kick it off to Kendrick. Out of bounds off of, Lindsay thought it was off Kendrick's knee, but referee said it's off of CPA. Back in come Richard and Bonds. Out go Allsmiller and Blackwell. 2:26 to go. Lions now lead by 9 at 15-6. Foul situation 2 against CPA, 1 called against Lipscomb so far. Not much in the way of fouling. Here's Glimpse. Glimpse drives around Lindsay. Runner is no good. A little too strong there. Good move, though, by Glimpse to get around Lindsay, and then he couldn't quite get a shot to fall. Here's Richard to Bonds. Spann for 3. No good. Too strong. Tip, though, by Bonds to Lindsay, and a foul is called. The crowd thought it was all ball. And they are really vocal down there. Good to see the fans into the game. CPA students are way down to our right on this side. I'm sure they're loud, too. We just can't hear them from this far down. It just occurs to me that we might have a Lipscomb graduate up here.
Me?
No, you're not from Nashville.
Yeah.
I don't know why I had that in my head. Somebody that we know. Ball goes in that time. You're from another part of the country.
Yes.
Derek has friends everywhere, though. 3-pointer. No good by Simpson. Rebound. That must be somebody else I was talking to recently that's about your age that I know is a Lipscomb. Anyway, doesn't matter. There's a lot of Lipscomb Academy graduates in the community, of course, obviously, along with CPA graduates. Lipscomb been around longer. Lions lead by 11 points, now 1:53 to go in the first quarter. Here's Glimpse looking for Kendrick inside, but it's off of Glimpse. Glimpse had a good idea there, passed it inside to Kendrick, but he couldn't quite connect with him. Back in comes Stevens, Jake Stevens, 24, out goes Glimpse. Coach Pickens yelling a play out of his team. They're going to play what appears to be man-to-man still. Allsmiller's wide open right now. Now it's going to be closed by Stevens. Here's Bonds. Paul Adams in the game, number 12. Adams, also a junior. A lot of juniors on this basketball team. No seniors. Adams posting up inside on Kendrick. Gives it back to Allsmiller. Now to Lindsay for 3 from the baseline. Swish. Jalen Lindsay. 20-6. Lions by 14. 1:19 to go in the first. Driving is Armstrong around Adams. No good. Rebound Lindsay. Good job blocking out Kendrick. Kendrick that time. Here's Bonds. Bonds surveys the court. Now back to Lindsay. Allsmiller covered by Stevens in the corner. Lipscomb will go basically 7 men deep. They got a 2-man rotation off the bench. Bonds drives it. Almost traveled. Coach Pickens wanted that. Lindsay for 3 again. Too strong. Foul committed by Adams on the rebound. It's pulled down by Simpson, Luke Simpson, the 6-foot junior guard. If you're just joining us, Lions come in, undefeated district play, at 24-2 overall. Lipscomb struggling a little bit this year. They're 5-16 overall, 4-11 in district play. Last game at CPA was won by the Lions, and that score was 83-41. Nice, blocked by Blackwell. Good drive, good pass, and Glimpse had it, but he was rejected out of bounds unceremoniously by Braxton Blackwell, the freshman. I want to give a shout out to Blackwell, Sampson families. It's a foul called. Thank you, Derek. Well, maybe with the body. Coach Maddox is smiling at the referee right now. That looked like a first-class rejection. Instead, it was called a foul. Glimpse misses the first free throw. That's the first foul on Blackwell, the third on CPA of the half. And thanks, Derek, for being the eyes and the ears. We don't always see everything up here. This one by Glimpse is also no good. Rebound Blackwell. So no harm there. And the CPA students down there got excited. Last year, you might recall, the CPA students were down in that end zone, not end zone, but the baseline area of the court. And whenever something big happened, like a dunk, the students would run out the doors and down the hall and back in. Well, that was, they put the kibbutz on that one this year, and students are assigned only to the stands down here to our right. Lipscomb basketball trailing by 14, 20-6 with 28.5 seconds to go in the first. CPA will continue its full court press. Armstrong gets an inbound to Glimpse. Back to Armstrong, almost stolen by Bonds. Armstrong will dribble, give it off to Reed Beck. Beck across to Kendrick. Kendrick gets it back. Now it's going to be Beck, guarded by Bonds. 15 seconds to go. Armstrong trying to hold for one shot if they can. Armstrong back to Simpson, back to Beck. Beck in. Armstrong with 7 seconds to go. He drives, he shoots, he scores. Nice play by Dowling Armstrong. Less than a second to go, no good. So Dowling Armstrong, the 6'2 senior, with a nice play there to drive and score on the left side of the hoop. And give his team a spark to end the first quarter. They trail by 12, 20-8. Okay, Derek is a Belmont grad student and grad instructor, right? Is that fair? That's true. Okay. We said it before on another broadcast, but Belmont connections with CPA. We mentioned the two girls from the academy heading up there next year. It's Meredith Roman and Lauren Thompson going to go play for Belmont next year. And also, Lions have Craig Bradshaw as a freshman at Belmont. Had a good game the other day on Saturday off the bench. Sparked the Belmont. They've got some votes. They got a couple votes in the top 25 this week. I saw that where Belmont's men got some love in the coaches poll. Okay, second quarter about to begin. 8 minutes to go. 28 Lions foul situations. 6 called against CPA. Only two. So the next foul against the Lions will result in 1-1 for the Mustangs. A nice pass from Dowling Armstrong down to Blake Kendrick. Now it's a 10-point game. Bonds has it. A play being set up. Richard on the left wing. Inside, posting up Blackwell. Blackwell goes up. Oh, Braxton Blackwell. Blackwell and Sampson family, relatives in Virginia, if you're watching, good to have you on the broadcast, as always. Almost stolen by Braxton right there. Simpson to Glimpse. Glimpse, nice pump fake. Shot no good. Rebound. Allsmiller comes up with it. Good job by Jake. Here's Bonds. Lindsay will drive. Give it back to Bonds. They're going to call a travel. Yes, they are. Hard to tell about that one. 3 officials on the court, as always, in high school basketball these days. Armstrong to Beck. 7:10 to go in the second. Double team right there in backcourt. Beaten by Beck. A glimpse, passing it to Kendrick. Goes up, blocked by Blackwell. No foul called that time. Good rejection by Braxton. Speaking of Braxton, there's Bonds. Richard for 3. Not quite, a little bit short. Rebound comes down to Glimpse. Armstrong has it. To Beck. Beck. Down the lane goes Beck. What a move by Beck, and the shot goes in. Good job by Reed. Now it's 10-point lead again with 6:35 to go. Bonds, Lindsay for 3. Not that time. It was just a little bit off, rimmed out. Simpson pulls it back now to Dowling Armstrong. Armstrong going to be called a charge. Maybe he put an elbow or shoulder down. I'm not sure. And Armstrong was called for the offensive foul. That'll be only the 3rd foul of the half. Yeah, the referee makes a signal as if to say that was he put his shoulder down as he drove across the lane. Coleman Span's back in, Parker Howell as well. Blackwell will sit with Richard. So we'll get that foul on Armstrong. It's only the third of the half on Lipscomb. Braxton Bonds, 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. Lions by 10. Here's a illegal screen call, I think, on Parker Howell. Howell doesn't quite agree. Here is full court pressure again by CPA, beaten that time by Armstrong. He's in the corner, though, guarded by Span and Lindsay. Way back out to Reed Beck. Lions are in. Is it a man-to-man? No, it's 2-3 still. Okay. Basically zone. Beck. Here is Bonds. He'll go in and lay it in. Good job by Braxton there. Lions back up by 12 now, 24-12 with 5:24 to go. I had somebody text me to say if we could zoom out on this end of the court, the camera end, it'd be better. We'll try. It's a nice pass there. Kendrick has it out of bounds off of Lipscomb. We'll try. It's tough down here. We just got to. We're right up against the court in this corner, so it's tough. Timeout on the court right now with 5:11 to go in the second quarter. Chance to mention, fans, that we've got the Lions involved in district playoffs next week. Quarterfinals will be hosted at CPA for the Lions. I think it's a higher seed, if I'm correct on that. The higher seed hosts the game, so CPA boys and girls will host. And then after that, assuming you win, you go to the semifinals and final, which will be played at Pearl Cone this year. So the Firebirds get to host the district semis and final boys and girls same night. And it'll be fun to see Catfish again at Pearl Cone. Always a pleasure to go visit with Catfish. If you know Pearl Cone, you know what I'm talking about. What a character that guy is. Here's a screen by Bonds, or rather by Blackwell. On Bonds rolling off down the lane goes Blackwell. He'll draw the foul. Called against Kendrick. Kendrick gets a pat on the backside from Bonds right there. I think maybe that could be Bonds' way of saying you got all ball. I'm not sure, but sometimes players will do that. I think Bonds was talking to him for a minute on the line just now, maybe to say that. Good play right there, but the referee called a foul. If you listen to this broadcast, these broadcasts a lot, you may think I'm anti-referee. I may come across that way sometimes. I do tend to think the referees just can't see the game. It's too fast for them. They're making calls that they're having to guess on. That's just part of the game. It goes both ways. Okay. 14-point lead, Lions, 4:47 to go in the first half. Armstrong looking down for Kendrick. Blocked by Blackwell. Tipped by Osmiller, given to Coleman Span. Here comes Bonds. Bonds will drive down the lane. Oh, alley-oop. And it's a charge called against Bonds. Armstrong takes the charge. That's part of the scouting report on Lipscomb, is that they do like taking charges. They're good at that. They pride themselves on playing good defense and taking the charge. That time Armstrong did it. It was an alley-oop attempt from Bonds to Lindsay. And you saw Lindsay not quite make the dunk anyway. But the foul was called against Bonds. Here we go. Beck down the lane. Beck stops, pops. Left-handed, no good. Rebound, Osmiller. Fouled. Good job by Jake right there to get the rebound. Jake's been playing tough inside tonight. You don't see Jake always playing inside like that. But he has been tonight. He's doing really well blocking out and contesting rebounds. 4:19 remaining in the second quarter. Lions by 14. Osmiller almost traveled there. Now drives on the lane. Across the Span. Blackwell to Lindsay. Lindsay spins. Lindsay shoots. Lindsay, no good. Rattles out. Rebound by Stevens. Here comes Beck. Beck toward Armstrong. Off his hands, out of bounds. A little bit too strong. Armstrong says, pats his chest. Say, my bad there. But the pass was kind of hard to handle. Here's Bonds. Team fouls 8 against CPA, 5 against Lipscomb. So we're 1-1. There's a push called. It's staying here. It's on Armstrong, his second. Team 6th. Not shooting yet. So it'll be Lions inbounding side baseline. Baseline by Bonds in front of the student section. That's where there was some trouble last year. A little bit of vocality. And a lot of high-spirited fans last year. This year too, but it seems like it's really positive overall. Here's a cutting Osmiller from Span to Blackwell, lays it in. Nice job by Coleman Span to the cutting Osmiller, who gave it back to Blackwell, and Blackwell went up and scored and drew the foul. Foul's called against whom? Let's find out. Stevens gets the call against him. Stevens' second foul, and the team's 7th. This is one shot. Good. Blackwell scores a three-pointer the old-fashioned way. Back in comes Andrew Emanuel. Out goes Span. Good job by Coleman. Get some fives from his teammates. He's been hustling. It is senior night on Friday night at CPA as Lions host MLK. No seniors for the boys, 4 for the girls. Schaffner, we'll get that in a minute. Here's Simpson. Disrupted, but he makes it anyway. Nice job by Luke Simpson. Lindsay, I thought, got a piece of that, and then Simpson adjusted and put it in. Good job by Luke right there. Lead back to 15. 3:11 to go. Bonds almost carried at that time. Osmiller inside for the spinning Blackwell. Back to Manuel for 3. Oh, in and out. Lindsay fights for it. Not quite able to rebound. Lindsay showed his extension right there, getting way over someone's head to almost get the rebound there. Simpson, Lindsay steals it. Gives off to Bonds. Out of bounds off of Lindsay. And Lipscomb like that one. 2:53 to go. Timeout call, the full by Coach Maddox. 29-14. Coach Maddox wants an explanation from the referee down here. The referee has the ball. You can't see him right now, but that ref, Coach Maddox kind of asking why was there a no call right there, I think, if I had to guess. Looked like Lindsay went up. You saw that too, Derek? Lindsay went up for the alley-oop, and he was shoved out of the way. Maybe shoved is the wrong word. Bodied out of the way. Like a block-out move, but when the ball's in the air, you can't block that. When the player's in the air, you can't block him out. I'm not saying that very well. My point is, Coach Drew thought it was a foul. It wasn't called. It was a turnover. So, again, senior night. Also, it's coming home week at the Academy, and we invite all basketball alumni to come back Friday night to be honored. If you have ever played basketball, boys or girls at CPA, come back. You'll be honored at halftime of the boys' game, and then there'll be a reception after that game for you to enjoy. So if you have played basketball, or if you know somebody who's played basketball, message them in the Academy's history. Let them know we want to see you if you're in town. Come on by and be honored and enjoy the games. The girls being honored as seniors will be Thompson, Legate, Roman, and Schaffner. Here's Simpson. Gives off to Beck. Beck fakes. Gives off to Glimpse. Rejected out of bounds by Blackwell. One thing I'll notice that Lipscomb's doing a good job of is head faking and pump faking and trying to get the Lions in the air. I mean, they know they're outmatched in terms of height. So if they can get CPA in the air and get around them, that's one way to try to overcome some of that height disadvantage. Here's Beck. 2:35. Clock running. 15-point lead CPA. Halftime. Almost coming up. Knocked away. Armstrong grabs it back. Armstrong all the way across to Simpson. Good D right now by the Lions. Blocked by Lindsay. Goes to Glimpse, though. Glimpse will shoot. No call. He might have gotten fouled there. He thought so, too. I thought maybe Manuel might have got a piece of him. Blackwell. Lindsay. 3. It is no good. It rolls over the top of the backboard. That will be Lipscomb basketball. One of the Lipscomb fans down here wearing a referee uniform. It's pretty good costume to have right down there. I'm surprised they let him do that. They'll throw him out or make him change shirts. Here's Beck. Picked off that time by Lindsay, but stolen back by Beck. Now Glimpse, and a foul is called against CPA's Braxton Bonds with 1:51 on the clock. I was watching the Predators play the other night. One of the teams they were playing had 4 guys behind the goal dressed up as hockey referees with the helmets and the shirts. Yeah, funny to watch that. So here we have one fake referee down here for Lipscomb. One guy in a banana costume, another guy in a hot dog costume, I think. And the dude with the pink, he's riding a pink ostrich. I'm serious about that. Think I'm kidding about that? All right, 1:50 to go. And it's a stuffed ostrich. It's an inflatable ostrich, actually, not a real ostrich. That's even weirder. All right, here comes Blackwell. 15-point lead CPA, but not much scoring recently. Been good D by both teams. Span. Allsmiller in the corner. What's the call? Maybe a Lindsay with a screen. Yeah, it's on Jalen for a push or maybe a legal screen. Lindsay's first personal foul. And the team's 10th, but it's a player control foul, I guess. No free throws yet on that one. Stolen by Blackwell. Will he dunk it? Goes up, slams it home. Braxton Blackwell, 6'6", 6'7", freshman, class of what? 2016. Simpson across to Armstrong. Armstrong, Simpson, back. Looking inside for Stevens. There's Armstrong. Stolen away. Manuel to Span. Span. He traveled. He traveled first, and they called him for a foul. Lipscomb fans like that one. 31-14, a football score right now. Lions lead by 23, right? Yep. No, hold on. I'm sorry. 18. Make that. I'll get that right. What's it? Yeah, 18. 18 is right. No, 17. I'm sorry, guys. Three-pointer is good by Simpson. I'm tired today. I'll be honest with you. A little bit on fumes, so if I don't sound like I'm all that sharp, I'm not. Good shot by Simpson that time. Drains the 3. It's now a 14-point lead all of a sudden. 31-17. 36 seconds to go. Blackwell has it way out top. May hold for one shot. 26-25 seconds till halftime. Lipscomb is content to let him do it. Let him just dribble until, who knows what, 16 to go. Now 12. 10. Knocked out of bounds. 8.6. Knocked out of bounds by Lipscomb, obviously. Coach Pickens didn't like that one. Inside, Emmanuel lays it up, no good, but a foul's called on Lipscomb's either Armstrong or Stevens. I couldn't tell which. Let's see which one. That's Armstrong. That may be his third foul. Yeah, it is. That's 3 against Dowling. And to the line goes Manuel with 7.4 seconds remaining in the half. So good play by the Lions on the inbound. Manuel got open and laid it up and drew the foul. First free throw left-handed is good. At halftime, don't go anywhere. We'll have a quick announcement to make before we take a break for the half, so stick around for 1 second. Manuel. Good. Back in. Now in comes Connor Zelnick. Connor's in, and out goes Andrew Manuel. Zelnick going to play guard, number 3. Lions up now by 16 points. Connor guarding, Beck. Runner up, no good. 1 second to go. Foul called on either Zelnick or Spann with 0.8 seconds remaining. Who's it going to be on? Zelnick with a push. Zelnick's first, team's double bonus. Doesn't matter, it's going to be a 2-shot foul anyway for Glimpse. First one is no good, off the back of the rim and clanks out of there. In quickly for Lipscomb comes number 11, Culpepper, a sophomore, from the last 0.8. Also coming in, number 12, Pickens, for 0.8 as well. Lions, they try a long pass. You can get a shot off of 0.8. We'll see if they get it to Lindsey for either a tip or a quick shot while he's in the air. It's possible with 0.8. Just got to throw it way down. Here's Lindsey going to go up for it. Nope. That'll be knocked away by Lipscomb. Off the miss. No good. So halftime arrives here at Lipscomb Academy. Home of the Mustangs. They trail by 15 points, 33-18 at the half. Lions started strong and then really didn't pull away like we thought they might pull away as the half progressed. So I'd say it's kind of a little bit of a dud. Not dud, maybe a strong word for it, but a little flatter for CPA to end the half. Quick announcement, I wanted to let you know, make sure you know about Coming Home Week. Coming Home Senior Night, Friday night, Coming Home Dance Saturday night. Middle School Fine Arts event is on Saturday night also. That's going to be awesome. I saw them rehearsing today, and it's going to be really good. So if you want to see some good fine art stuff, action, middle school is doing that at 7 on Saturday night. Learning About Learning is an outstanding parent discussion series led by our academic dean, Catherine Kuntz. It's called Learning About Learning, and you can learn all kinds of fun stuff and discuss with other parents and with Catherine Kuntz things like technology and the impact that technology is having on our learning at the academy and other things too. It's really helpful stuff, and it's good to kind of compare notes and to learn not only what the academy is doing in terms of its learning styles and learning and curriculum and that kind of stuff, but also how we as parents can also support what's going on at the academy and help our kids learn at home too. So that's 8 a.m. Friday morning at the academy, 8 a.m. Learning About Learning. More information available on the website for all this stuff. Go to the website cpalions.org, cpalions.org. All right, halftime here. We'll be back with you about 8 minutes or so for the start of the second half. Lions lead 33-18. CPA fans, thanks for joining us here. This is Phil Newman, your Director of Communications at the Academy, along with Coach Drew Maddox, our varsity head basketball. Wow, no, let's say it again. I'll be able to cut off the front. Just keep going. Just keep it going. I'll be able to trim off the front. CPA fans, thank you for joining us. This is Phil Newman, your Director of Communications here at the Academy, along with Drew Maddox, our head coach for varsity boys basketball at the Academy. Coach Maddox, thank you so much for joining us for a few minutes to do a little season preview here.
Yeah, thank you, Phil, for all you do, and thank you for having me.
Well, our pleasure. And for those who may not be familiar, this is the 7th year coaching at the Academy for Coach Maddox. A lot of success over those years for him and for the team, a lot of accolades, and culminating in a state championship run last year in 11-12, and quite a huge day that was. I mean, capping off an amazing season and finishing off winning that last game, which you say is a dream for everybody, whether you're a coach or a player. So I want to ask you, Coach Maddox, about that before we get into this year. Just looking back at that, and I was there with you after the game, and just seeing that whole experience was phenomenal. So did it sink in right away, or did it take a while, maybe still taking some time to sink in that, hey, we're state champions?
Yeah, I don't think you ever fully realized what was accomplished. You know, it was an amazing season, memorable in so many different ways, Phil. I mean, every measurable you could measure a memory by, it was just special. We had unique relationships, outstanding community support. The kids played the right way. I mean, they were unselfish. They loved and served each other well. So it just was an incredible experience to get to be a part of an organization and a team, that was about the right things, that really truly thought about their teammate before themselves. And it just exemplified all the way to the state championship. The funny thing about that Saturday after we had done it, though, was, we laughed leading up that week because Coach Legate the girls had already won it the week before. And so, the week leading up to it, everybody, can the boys do it again? Can you become, exactly. Can you become the fourth team in the history of high school athletics in the state to do that? And so, it was difficult trying to block that out, but bittersweet in some ways, though, because some unbelievable seniors that were special. But definitely, the locker room was a special time to be in that locker room winning that last game.
I think somebody at the girls' state title looked over you and said, "Hey, one more, Drew." So that pressure must have been extra incentive perhaps that week.
Yeah,
but
it was.
And you mentioned, before we go on, I wanted to make sure folks know, speaking about being part of the CPA community, of course, Coach Maddox also is our Director of Enrollment, which is an exciting job to have. And this time we're blessed to be in a season of growth and really seeing the academy flourish and blossom, aren't we?
It's a special time in the life cycle of this special place, and we're getting to experience the fruit of a lot of investment by many people. People that I don't even know. A lot of prayer and a lot of thought and a lot of vision, and God really blessed a lot of people with a vision for this place. And you and I now, as employees of this place, as you try to extend the brand in the marketplace, and we try to be welcoming and hospitable to our visitors that visit. It's really amazing when you look back over the life cycle of the academy to see where the organization is today. And, it's just a blessing. I mean, it's so much fun to host these prospects and these guests to our campus. And, there's a buzz about our brand right now in the marketplace. And so God is really blessing us during this season. And so we're just trying to capitalize on all the growth initiatives and the strategic plan of the leadership that has blessed this academy.
No question, it's humbling to be part of the growth and this environment and see what the Lord is doing here. So back to the hardwood now, speaking of exciting things there. This year you mentioned some of the key parts last year. Obviously, among the seniors, we had Craig Bradshaw, one of the three seniors who is now at Belmont doing well as a freshman. And but those seniors are tough to replace. And if you can, talk about the roster this year and what you expect. Obviously, it's a young team still, but a lot of experienced guys.
Absolutely. I think you said it correctly. You think about looking at our roster on paper, and first thing that jumps out at you is there's no seniors. And so it does look to be a youthful roster, but the guys on this roster have played basketball an awfully long time, literally had experience all over the world playing the game. And some of the guys have been playing since they were freshmen here at CPA. And so I trust this group. I've known this group for a long time. We've been through a lot of great memories together, going back to when they were little kids. And so it's just it's a special group in so many ways. So yeah, there's a void not having that senior leadership, but this group has what it takes to kind of pick up the slack without that senior leadership. Now, obviously without those three seniors, Craig Bradshaw, Tucker Johnson, Brandon Cook, there was a void. There is a void. Those three were special. They were great leaders. But I really like this junior class. There's 9 of them, and it's a tremendous thing to see the closeness that group really exhibits.
And you've got, of course, inside-out threats with Jalen Lindsay, who can play both, and of course got Jake, the sharpshooter from 3, and Braxton Bonds running the floor a lot, and then 9th grader Braxton Blackwell, among other pieces. But what do you expect? Who do you think will be the players that you really got to rely on to step up big this season?
Well, the 4 that you just mentioned are unquestioned some of the best players in the mid-state area, if not the country. All 4 of those guys hold Division I scholarship offers, and not one of them are seniors. They're very gifted. It's really amazing. Those 4 are so super talented. And they get a lot of attention, as they should, because they're obviously gifted. I think kind of a surprise player, if you mentioned those four, I think somebody that the community is going to really love seeing back with us is Thomas Richard. You know, he had such a great football season this year, and he's come off that a foot injury that saw him out for about 14 to 16 months. He hadn't played a competitive basketball game since his freshman year. And in his first game this past week, he had 15 points and led us in scoring. So I think the community will really like seeing him being back with us, making basketball plays with those gifted players.
Now, is it fair to say, without giving too much away, that you want to run an up-tempo style, and pretty much it'll be a lot of high-scoring games, perhaps in the future?
Okay, at halftime, we're back with you. 2:13 to go in the half. Basically, I mean, during halftime rather. Just hope you enjoyed that interview with Coach Maddox. We'll take a break now. We're joined by Caitlin Nichols, CPA sophomore. Right? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Caitlin, if you any fans out there who saw the first game on our broadcast that know that Caitlin was shooting the ball very well, playing the point guard position really well. It was a game that you guys looked confident. Did you come into this game as a team confident that you could win this one? We
were very motivated for the start of the game. We just wanted to come out there and just kick them from the start and then end it.
What's the is it just kind of because we are rivals with Lipscomb, or you know a lot of those girls? What makes it the kind of game when you really want to do well?
I think it's because we actually have competition, and rivals has a big part of it, and we're at their house, and we want to kick them. So
yeah, and I know you mean kick them in a figurative, not literally kick them.
No, yes.
You mean win the game, right?
Yes, win the game.
Well, and they, of course, they are in second place in the district, so that makes it even closer. And it's true, some of the games you guys play aren't quite this close, right? So
yes, sir.
But anyway, so what do you think the key was? I mean, you guys are shooting so well. Was it just that you got comfortable early on with this? Well, let me back up a second. Actually, you guys were 0 for 5 at first. Then you got hot. So what was the difference that got you shooting well?
I think it's just we came down and we were relaxed and we just executed through our offense and we didn't rush shots and we just took our time.
That paid off. There's a lot of swishes that it made. And what can you say about it? You're a sophomore, right?
Yes.
So I noticed a lot of times that you'll see Lauren, LT, or Faith talking to some of the freshmen or 8th graders. Tell me what it's like to be on a team where you got so many several veterans and a lot of youth. Is that kind of interesting to watch?
It is, because I absolutely adore our 3 seniors. They are amazing, and I look up to them no matter what, and they just help me through everything. Like if I'm nervous, like before the game, they just help me calm down, and just especially when there's 8th graders on the team, they actually get to experience real leadership throughout the team. So it's really great.
And they get a lot of experience for next year. They'll be freshmen. They'll be almost veterans, won't they?
Yes, sir.
And you mentioned the 3 starter seniors, Thompson, Legate, and Roman, of course, and then Alyssa Schaffner, that is 4th senior. Now, it's early in your career as a sophomore, but do you have aspirations to go to any certain school, college, or play college, or is that too early to tell?
It's too early to tell. We'll see how it goes.
I guess one thing, it's one step at a time, is district playoffs next week. So are you excited about?
Yes, I'm really pumped. I'm ready to win.
All right. Well, Caitlin Nichols, thank you so much for joining us at halftime as she helps lead the Lions to victory earlier in the girls' game.
Thank you.
Back second half action underway here. Boys game. Bonds to Alsmiller. Nails a 3 from the corner. Good job by Jake right out of the gate. With the hammer down there. Now it's 36-18. Lions back up by 18 points. It was 15 at halftime. Dowling, Armstrong, switch. Good shot by Armstrong right there. 2 for Armstrong. 7:30 to go in the second. Team starting off with a hot hand. Bonds, drive, shoots, swishes. 5 points quickly for the Lions, 2 for Lipscomb. Whistle blows. What happened? Out of bounds. It'll be Lipscomb basketball. So a hot start for both teams. Armstrong with 2, Bonds with 2, and Jake Alsmiller with 3. Lions lead it by 18 again. 7:20 to go. Here come the Mustangs this direction. Reed Beck will drive, will stop, will shoot. Short. Ball out of bounds. They're going to say out of bounds off of the shot, I think. It will be Lions basketball. Here comes Bonds quickly across midcourt. Bonds, screened by Howell in the game, Parker Howell. Back to Howell. Howell for 2. Nice shot by Parker Howell. Lions are 3 for 3 this half. And they go up by 20 now, 40-20. So the lead has been extended by 5 points. Glimpse for 2. High, bouncing off the rim, no good. Foul committed, I think, by Lipscomb's Armstrong. That's right. Dowling gets called for the foul. Doesn't agree with the call, I don't think. Thinks maybe he was pushed by Lindsay, but that was not the call. It's his fourth. Thank you, Derek. 4 fouls against Armstrong, so one of the starters for Lipscomb in deep trouble. He'll have to hit the bench. He's frustrated going out of bounds right below us. Very frustrated on that. Didn't think the call was a fair one, I guess. Okay, 6:45 remaining third quarter. Lions up. They've doubled up the Mustangs 40-20. Bonds, Howell, Alsmiller, Lindsay, and Blackwell in the game. Driving is Bonds, maybe out of bounds. I think no. A push is called before that on the Mustangs. Excuse me. Push called against. I didn't see who the call was against. Oh, 33. Kendrick, my bad. All right, second personal against Kendrick. Second team foul. Inbounded. Oh, behind the back move by Blackwell for 2. Not quite able to get the roll. Very quiet gym right now. Fans are very quiet. Maybe that's Lipscomb doing that. I don't know what they're doing. Pass but to Glimpse. Pass to Kendrick. Nice play. Lipscomb makes an effective little baseline cut play, and Glimpse hits Kendrick for 2. Lead back to 18 with 6:05 on the clock in the third. Phil Newman here with Derek Pennico, Nathan Olmstead. Alsmiller for 3, no good. Rebound tipped in by Blackwell. Did you see that? Braxton Blackwell elevated and tipped that one in off the glass. Out of bounds, Beck threw it for Glimpse and went over his head. Wow. I said it before, another different game. Blackwell is making that kind of outstanding, spectacular play like that and then look as relaxed as if he had just had a cup of tea. He is just a calm, effective player. Speaking of effective, here's Lindsay. Lindsay gets hammered on the face, no call. Tip by Bonds this time, no good. Trying to follow up Blackwell's lead there. Bonds can't quite get the tip to go. He'll guard full court. 20-point lead, CPA, 5:23 to go in the third. Here's Stevens in the game. Guarded closely by Jake in the corner, splits the 2 and draws the foul. Trying to split Lindsay and Alsmiller. Got a foul called against which, if I had to guess, I'd say Jake. Yes, it was on Jake. His first personal, team's first. It'll be inbounding with a haystack. I'll just throw it in, actually. No foul trouble really for any Lion. 4 on Armstrong for Lipscomb. 1 player in any trouble. Approaching 5 minutes to go. Here's Simpson for 3. Swish. Good shot by Luke Simpson. He spotted up with Parker Howell near him, but not quite in his face, and the 3 was good. Paul Adams going to come in a second for CPA. Adams at the scorer's table waiting to come in. Coach Pickens with a screaming out of play. Here's Alsmiller for 3. Swish. Jake Alsmiller. And it'll be a 30 called by Coach Drew Maddox. So the Lions go up by 20 once again on the 3 by Jake Alsmiller, who is setting all kinds of records in terms of three-point shooting at CPA, and he has hit 1,000 points in his career. Lindsay hit 2,000 points not long ago. Coach Cooey, you can see there on this side of the huddle, is instructing Parker Howell, the sophomore. Is that right? Yes, Howell is a sophomore. He played some as an 8th grader 2 years ago and then played a bunch as a freshman last year, now a sophomore. So Adams comes in for Howell. So it's going to be Blackwell, Lindsay, Alsmiller, Bonds, and Paul Adams, number 12. Approaching 4:30 remaining here in the third quarter. Lions comfortably ahead. This gym is pretty quiet overall. Occasionally, in the first half, we had something exciting happen. That Lipscomb student section went berserk, but not this half yet. 4:15. Shot is a swish by Reed Beck, number 4, the starting point guard for the Mustangs. Pulls the team back to within 17. 4 minutes now flat, halfway through the third quarter. Braxton Bonds with a screen from Adams up near the three-point line. Here's Blackwell on the left wing. Ball stolen this time. Pass intended for Lindsay, but stolen by Stevens. Here comes Beck. Beck stumbles, almost stolen by Bonds, not quite. Simpson has it. Luke Simpson through traffic finds Kendrick for 2, baseline, nice play. It's the whistle. What's going on? There's a foul call by the referee on someone. Basket counts on Lipscomb's Stevens on a push. So count the hoop, and it's a 15-point lead suddenly again at 45-30. Foul is the third one, though, on Stevens. That's 3 fouls on he. Get that right. Yeah, third foul on Stevens. That's 3 for him and 4 for Armstrong, who's out right now still, I think. Yes. Adams has it. He'll hold. 3:22. He's looking for someone. He finds Bonds. Bonds makes a move. Bonds back to Jake for 3. Yes. Jake is rolling. He's got, I don't know how many, at least 3 threes I've seen, I've counted. 2 in a row, basically. Jake gets hot, and then a kick. Nice play by Jake to kick the ball into the scorer's table. And a heads-up play by the scorekeeper there, not to get beamed in the face by that one. Back in comes Coleman Span. Out goes Paul Adams. So maybe Oswald has a soccer future. We'll see. That was a nice kick. Coach Brett Armstrong, I saw him in the house. Boys soccer is getting ready for their season this spring. Coach Brett Armstrong. You might want to take a look at Lindsay right there with that kick play. 2:56 to go in the third. Drive by Simpson. Lays it up. No good. Good drive. Ball shot wouldn't fall for him, though. Rebound Lindsay. Blackwell brings it across. 2:44 to go. Baseline goes Jake. On the sideline, on the baseline rather, out of bounds. Jake's foot. That was so good a minute ago, kicking the ball. Now this time betrayed him by landing on the baseline. Turnover. Tip that time. Osmo tips the pass. Reed gets it back though, and gives it to Culpepper in the game. Who's driving now? Culpepper gives it to Simpson. Simpson for 3, short. Rebound Lindsay. He's being grabbed. No call right there. Kendrick had him by the arm. Referee didn't see it. Bonds down the lane, spins, gives it to Lindsay. Lindsay goes down. Lindsay goes up. Lindsay gets fouled by Kendrick twice, but this time it was called. Okay. Appreciate Kaylin Nichols a minute ago. If you missed that, Kaylin Nichols little interview with us. Did a good job right there at the end of the halftime break. So if you missed that, go back and right before halftime ended, you can see that interview with point guard Nichols, who started the game tonight for the girls, and they were victorious over Lipscomb. And I have a score here somewhere. Convincingly, put it that way. Shot, no good. Rebound, Alsmiller. Comes out of there with it. Right there, the score. No, it's not. Girls won, and they remain undefeated in district play. In come Kendrick for the Mustangs and Manuel for CPA. It was 50-28. That's right, 50-28 the girls' game. Glimpse goes out for Lipscomb. Manuel going to throw it in, looking for somebody. 5-second count was called. Too much time. Stevens inbounds to Beck. 2:11 to go, third quarter. Lions by 18. They led at the half by 15. Turnover. Manuel has it. Will inbound. This gym is like a library all of a sudden, or a mausoleum. It got really, really quiet in here. Well, not much to cheer about. It's been kind of a slow-paced double dribble. No. Foul? What? Foul called against Manuel on a screen, I guess. Illegal screen. So Lions, that would be their second foul of the half. Lipscomb has 5 called against them. Here is Stevens. Back out to Culpepper. Driving, kicking out to Beck. Beck way across to Simpson, guarded by Manuel in what is a 2-1-2 or 2-3 zone. Here's wide open Simpson for 3. Rattles it in. Lions defense that time was not what I think Coach wanted to be. They left him open. Lead 15 again at 48-33. Allsmiller guarded closely by Reed Beck. Coleman Span drives, stops, shoots, scores! Coleman Span. Nice little jump shot just inside the free throw line. Good stuff by Coleman. 1 minute to go here in the third. Lions up by 17 again. Speaking of good movies, 17 again. All right. Stevens. Speaking of Matthew Perry and what's his face? Zac Efron. My goodness. Derek shaking his head. Good movie. I'm serious. All right. 38 seconds to go. Now the fans are going crazy about something. There's Culpepper. Lipscomb. Something going on. I think Manuel and Simpson were going mano a mano right there. Mano a mano. And a foul's called intentional, I guess, against Manuel. His third personal, team's third. I think it was Manuel and Simpson that were really trying to figure out which flavor gum each one of the other one was. Simpson gets to shoot 2 and the ball for Lipscomb. Well, this could be a spark. He pulls them within 16. With 28.5 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Second one's also good. 50-35. This game is not the same type of game we had at CPA when Lions won. It was 89 to what was it? It was about a 40-point victory there. In come Howell and Bonds. Out goes Span. Good job by Coleman there. Big basket for him and some good D. The zone, I think, continues for CPA. Way out front goes Lindsey. Now Bonds guarding man-to-man, trying to steal it on Culpepper. And good job by Wesley there to get it across. Double team now to Beck. Beck drives. Oh, yeah, foul committed by Blackwell over the back of Glimpse. That's a good call. So 12.5 seconds remaining. Suddenly, Lipscomb has a chance to pull within 12 again, or maybe 13 if they make it 2. Culpepper back to Beck. 8 seconds to go. You can hear the crowd maybe chanting. Stolen by Blackwell to Bonds. Bonds. Allsmiller goes up. Lays it in. No good. Rebound. And it's good. Wow. Wow. You saw what happened there. Bonds tried to convert on a rebound missed by Allsmiller. And who was there but Blackwell on the other side? Blackwell laid it in. It got the roll. Fell in just as the buzzer sounded. Big, big bucket. I mean, huge. Now we'll see the Lions doing their cheer down there. You can see the cheerleaders. It's the Lions Spirit cheer. We know about that one if we're CPA fans. Now, the score being 52-35 after 3. Let's show some of the students too, yeah. There we go, some of the students down there. You can see some of those fans. Get a shot at the students. So after 3, the Lions lead by 17. At halftime, they led by 15. So after all of that, CPA extends its lead by a bucket. A lot of good-natured rivalry-type spirit between these schools, and we've seen it on the football field, on the basketball court, and other sports. A lot of respect. And motivation. You heard Caitlin Nichols at halftime talking about how they want to win this game. Lindsey steals it. Bonds lays it in. Nice play by Jalen and Braxton Bonds right there. 19-point lead, CPA. And for the girls, part of it is that Lipscomb makes it a tougher game than some other foes that they'll face. Blocked by Allsmiller out of bounds. Nice job by Jake. I can't keep up with it. I should stop talking now. Just let the action speak for itself, right? Don't text me a big fat yes on that. You probably could. I'm trying to give a little bit of recap of the girls' game while the boys' game's going on. Probably a bad idea. Beck, guarded by Lindsey on the inbound. Way across to Simpson. Simpson will pull it all the way out. Now he looks for Armstrong back in the game with 4 fouls. Armstrong gives off Simpson. Simpson to Armstrong. Armstrong lays it in. Nicely done. Good player, Dowling Armstrong. They missed him a lot when he was out on the bench with 4 fouls for a long time. Most of the third quarter, he was out there, out of the game with 4. Here's Blackwell for Parker Howell. Back to Lindsay. Lindsay across to Jake. Jake drives. Jake finds Howell. Howell drives, gives off Blackwell. Lindsay. Howell. Bonds guarded by Beck. 6:45 to go here in the fourth. Lions lead it by 17. No. Am my math right on this? Yeah, 17 points. Yes. 54-37. Bonds thinks about a 3, and then he drives. Baseline. Lays it up. No good. Blocked by Armstrong, maybe. Lindsay, Howell, Osmiller. They're going to run some clock, I think, right now. And motion, Coach Maddox makes the signal to say, move the ball, and let's just run some clock. This is what was so effective last year in the state final game when CPA was up by 8 or 10 early in the fourth quarter, and the game was effectively over because CPA could do this. They could run about a minute and a half off it and make a layup. That was when the opposing coach, you want to almost, if you want to help him, you would say, you better start fouling now because you're not going to get the ball back if you don't. Simpson for 3. Good shot. Luke Simpson, good shooter. 30-second timeout called by Coach Pickens. Lead is 16 points with 5:41 to go. You wouldn't say it's mathematically impossible for Lipscomb to come back, but based on CPA's ability to run clock and spread the offense out, it would be very difficult. If you're Lipscomb, you almost have to start fouling right away and hope CPA went very cold from the free throw line, which they probably won't. That's my prediction there coming. We'll see. At halftime, we mentioned a couple things coming up at the academy. We've got the coming home week, dress up week in the high school. Middle school fine arts this Saturday night. Also got basketball at home on Friday night, girls and boys, 6 o'clock girls. Senior night. We've got learning about learning Friday morning at 8 at the academy. And we've got, of course, not too long from now, we have President's Day and 2 days off of classes. That's the week after next, I should say. Not to get students' hopes up too much. Lindsay dribbling around, gets it back to Bonds. 5:18 to go. 16. Bonds to Lindsay. Lindsay thinks about a shot, won't do it. I think Lions are trying to see how they maybe practice their practice. Coach Pickens just like a screech owl right there about something. Did you hear that? Coach Pickens just kind of went, I can't even do it. It sounded like a screech owl. Like, I hurt my throat doing it. Blackwell's going to inbound here. Howell. Stay tuned to your CPA announcements. The email, newsletter on Fridays, our Facebook page. They're still doing it. Sounds like a really upset bird in a tree. I'm not sure. CPA is going to stand there and hold the basketball. This is comical almost. 4:43 to go. Clock running. Is this like a coaching class? Is this like a practice session now where coach is working on his practice, his defense, and CPA is working on its spread offense? Fans are trying to rumble right now, kind of moan and grumble a little bit. We'll see if Lipscomb, there's a boo or two there. This is what CPA needs to work on. If they get ahead in the game in the playoffs, they're going to want to be able to run the clock, and that was very effective. It's down to 4:11 now. Crowd, I mean, you almost could study in here right now, couldn't you, Derek? I mean, it's very quiet.
Yeah, pretty quiet. The game's, for the most part, over. If you're Lipscomb, you gotta pressure the ball. Put some pressure, try and draw a 5-second call, try and get a turnover.
And there was turnover by Lions, so it didn't work out for Lipscomb that time either. Now 18-point lead again. Derek, you're right on target there. They can't stand there and not press the ball. And not result in anything good. So now it's Lipscomb with the basketball. Can they score? Simpson, glimpse, double pump, triple pump. No good. This time it's good though by Kendrick on the other side. Looks like Parker Howell wasn't quite blocking out on the other side of the basket. If I had to read the coach's mind right now, we'll see if that's something they'll address. Anyway, Bonds. Lindsay passing up a three. Layup, no good. Rebound, Bonds tips it to Howell. Jake has it. Right now, the coaches have told the Lions to run clock, and they're doing that effectively. Because Allsmiller would normally shoot that shot from three, a wide open three, but he passed it up. 3 minutes, 3:05 to go. Foul called finally against Simpson. Simpson goes, what? It was called as Simpson tried to guard Blackwell. I don't get why Lipscomb didn't, about 5 minutes ago, start fouling, or at least pressing the ball. Maybe they're tired. They don't have much of a bench. Honestly, their bench goes only about about 2 players, 7 deep total. So maybe the starters are kind of gassed by now. It's possible. Beck has it. You guys are 18 or 17 years old. They have no excuse for being tired, right? I'm 44. I got all kinds of excuses. These guys they can run all day. Glimpse, Beck, three-pointer, short. Rebound. Howell fights for it, and it comes to Bonds. Bonds will spin out of there. 2:39 to go. Lions by 16 points. Driving, kicking. Allsmiller, three. Oh, my. Jake Allsmiller drains it from the corner. He loves the corners. And those three-pointers, he's made a bunch tonight, 4 or 5. Last game against Lipscomb, he made 8. So he likes this team. Or maybe they don't guard him well enough. I don't know. But Allsmiller has had 2 good games against Lipscomb Academy. I guess they formerly were known as David Lipscomb. What was their former name? I don't even know.
David Lipscomb High School.
There you go. Now it's called Lipscomb.
And now it's Lipscomb Academy.
Okay. Shorter, more to the point. We'll kick David out here. No more David? Okay.
No more David.
Well, I got to tell you, it is a mouthful saying Christ Presbyterian Academy, so CPA is a nice acronym to be able to use. So 2:30 running on the clock, and it's CPA playing D, leading by 19. Tipped by Bonds. Bonds fighting for it. Picked up by Blackwell to Lindsay. Lindsay what? Over and back, maybe? No, foul called against Lipscomb. Stevens going to come in for the Mustangs. 1-1 will be the situation here. That's the 9th foul called against Lipscomb this half. 4th on Beck. Doesn't matter much at the moment, as the game is about over, as Derek said a minute ago. So maybe CPA is working on a little bit of their spread, clock milking, if you will, offense to get used to that if they need to use it again in the playoffs. Clock running under 2:10 now. Here's Armstrong. Shot no good. Tipped around by Blackwell, and he tracks it down. Bonds. Cross midcourt guarded by Beck. Now man-to-man being played by Lipscomb. They're going to guard closely now, and Bonds will score on a layup. Right-handed layup on the left side of the backboard is good. 1:44 to go. Lead back to 21. Foul called against Parker Howell. You know what they're saying?
Snapchat.
What does that mean? Is that bad? Don't repeat it? Oh, no, it wasn't? Okay. I was trying to hear what they're saying last year. There was a lot of fun back and forth between the students. Free throw is good by Kendrick. Blake Kendrick is a junior, so it'll be no good this time. Rebound by Howell. Lipscomb will lose Glimpse, Armstrong, Stolen that time by Kendrick. Glimpse and Armstrong, 2 seniors, will graduate. Oh, nice play right there by Simpson. A fake pass and a layup good. Timeout call by Coach Pickens. It'll be, what, a 30 or a full? A full. So a minute 26 to go. It's a, 18-point lead. Lions will improve to, if my math is right, 25 and 2. Undefeated in district play. They are the number 1 seed out of District 10 AA and the prohibitive favorite, ranked number 1 in the state in AA. The favorite to repeat as state champions if they take care of business. But that's how they play the game on the court, not on paper. Lipscomb next year will not play CPA at least in district play. As Lions move to 12 AA for the 13-14 school year, and they'll compete against southern teams, schools, Page High School, Spring Hill, Cascade, Giles County, Marshall County, the 5 teams that will make up the district along with CPA 12 AA. AA. 18-point lead, 1:11 to go. Lipscomb might now foul, we'll see. Split by Bonds. Lindsay gets it. Lindsay goes up, lays it in. Spun around the air, laid it in. 20-point lead Lions. This game is going to look on paper a little closer than the first game at CPA, but really, I don't know. Stolen by Bonds from behind. Yes. Braxton has it. Going across midcourt. Find a foul committed by Simpson. That's Luke's, what? Now, only a second, I think. Team 10th. So it's 2 free throws. So one thing I want to mention, we will broadcast the playoff game starting next week. There will be no broadcast this Friday night. So if you want to see that action, you've got to come to CPA. And it'll be MLK visiting the varsity gym. Girls game at 6, boys right after that. Senior night, 4 seniors for the girls will be recognized. Alyssa Schaffner, Faith Legate, Meredith Roman, and Lauren Thompson. I was trying to go alphabetical there. Armstrong goes up, ball goes flying into the crowd. 38.8 seconds to go. We'll see if the bench is clear. Yes, some players coming in for Lipscomb here to get in the game. Let's see if I can get those right. 32 is Merritt in the game. 12 is Pickens. 15 is Scherer. 20 is Bramall. Okay. CPA right now with the ball, Micah Davis, 33. The Lions have Davis in the game, along with Dreer, Span, Zelnick, and Adams. 25 seconds to go. Did that right? Yeah, Davis, 33, with the ball right now. Micah Davis got a nice haircut recently, I think. Looking sharp there. And then Dreer is 32. Adams is 12. Span is 2. Hit the showers? Okay. Well, Lipscomb, not much to cheer about, so they got to start chanting different things. Okay, Span, good on the free throw. All right. Student section, I should mention there was kind of a blackout down there. CPA wearing black T-shirts and showing their school spirit in a nice way. Very positive, though, for the most part. I mean, I thought Lions were pretty good last year, too, and they a little bit more, maybe more excited. According to Lipscomb, they didn't like the fact that CPA ran around. Here's an inbounded to Zelnick. So good job by Zelnick, Davis, Dreer, Adams. At the end of the game right there, and the game will end. So we'll We'll tell you the Lions win 68-45. That's the final score. CPA remains undefeated. Lipscomb remains struggling. They go to 5-17 on the season, and they are going to end the season perhaps next week. We'll see. A good job, CPA. Coach Drew Maddox. Able to, I think Coach Maddox, I just gave him a thumbs up. He looked up here and kind of gave me a look like, yeah, glad this one's over. If I had to read his mind, I'd say, glad this game is over. The Lions didn't play perhaps their best. That's pretty obvious to say. I think I saw Coach Brian Allsmiller at halftime, and he definitely acknowledged that they were not sharp for a lot of that first half, and the second half was similar. But bottom line is CPA wins the game, and they will remain undefeated in district play and be 25-2. Phil Newman for Derek Pinnico and Nathan Olmstead saying thanks a lot for joining us. You can watch this game on demand on about an hour or so. It'll be on demand if you want to watch it again. The girls' game will not be on demand until after the season's over. But from Lipscomb Academy, thank you for joining us, and have a good night, and we'll see you back at CPA.